short, the consequences of brain injury, they're unpredictable, and they can lead to changing everything about you as a person. So seeing how prevalent brain injuries are, experts and parents, they agree that our nation needs ways to quantify and longitudinally track cumulative insults and exposures over time, including subconcussive events, and also improved diagnostic tools, prognostic tools, treatment, management, and rehabilitation for traumatic brain injury. So recently there was a memo that was released by General Mattis on October 1st of this year, calling for a national action plan to counter TBI. And in direct response to this, the nation has stepped up, and also in response to the Section 734 National Defense Authorization Act, which is an RFI which was released, so it's public information. There is a national call for the DoD to embark on a wide-scale effort in order to monitor, record, and analyze blast exposures in order to determine the dose-effect response.
So there are solutions already out there that are being worked, and wearable sensors are one part of the solution to tracking and monitoring brain injuries. So here we show a couple of the sensors that are out there in the market today, ranging from military blast gauge sensors all the way to sports mouth guards that track motion of your skull. So they're definitely part of the solution, but they're not the entire thing. So the problem is that, at best, these sensors will measure what happens to your skull. They're tightly coupled, for example, the case of the mouth guard. The problem is, as shown from this animation, the brain moves differently than the skull. So of course, these are not real anatomic parts, but it shows the demonstration that there's definitely two different things moving. And the brain is what we care about. That's what we want to understand in terms of injury. So what we think is that individualized brain modeling offers a path to comprehensive approach to detection and monitoring of neurotrauma. So what will we do? Our solution is a sensor-enabled, cloud-based platform for monitoring brain health. You can see this animation, the schematic shown here kind of shows how it works. So you see the soldiers down the bottom going through training, deployment training, and so forth. They're instrumented with wearable sensors that transmits data to the cloud. When an event occurs, the sensor would call our digital brain technologies API and automatically start a brain simulation. This is a physics-based model of that individual's brain. It's based on custom spine element software. It runs on cloud infrastructure, as many of you may have seen the demo downstairs. And it can work. The API works for any sensor. It's not tied to a blast or an impact sensor. It works with any of that.
So my name is Ashley Eidsmoor, and I'm an electrical engineer and TBI researcher at the Army Research Lab.
My name is Mohamed Kumar, and I'm a health tech entrepreneur.
My name is Ruben Kraft. I'm an assistant professor of mechanical and biomedical engineering at Penn State University.
Together, we believe that our backgrounds in developing technologies for the military, sports telemetry communities, and the clinical communities will give us an edge to be the right team in order to develop this business.
So we've spent the last 2 months or so really discovering the pain points of our customers, and we conducted over 40 interviews across the country, talking to military personnel, DoD, policymakers. We've also spoke to para-NFL players to really determine their pain points and if this is a market fit out there. And what did we learn during this process? We learned that there is a true market fit, and part of that is sensors companies are not able to diagnose, but modeling and solutions, simulation can help them get there. This is a comment set by Mike. And as well, it is critical to link environmental loading trends to changes in soldier function and performance. And Lieutenant Matthew has shared this, so there's definitely a market need, and we're excited to explore this.
So we've already started to form partnerships. We have an SBIR that's pending, and for that, we actually collaborated with Black Box Biometrics. So that's one of the sensor companies for the military that was shown earlier. They've already have 500,000 sensors out there, and there's ongoing research to really improve these in the field. We've also collaborated on our SBIR with Lockheed Martin, who has a particular interest, of course, in hardware and software integration in battlefield environments.
So now that we've explored the marketplace and we see that there is in fact a need for this type of technology, where do we go from here? So what we've been doing is trying to figure out, well, how will we sell such a product? And right now what we're envisioning is we